Welcome back to Two Gals in a Glass Half Full. We are so excited to be entering summer. And so today, Dr. Jess and I are going to be talking about kind of what we're doing. So if you're interested in what we're doing for activity and how we are keeping ourselves moving, you're going to want to stay tuned. Dr. Jess, before we get started and talk about all fun things called movement, what is in your glass?
So I am working on some kombucha. I've been making my own kombucha again. I just I don't know, I feel like one, it's like it saves money, but then two, it's like I know for sure like what I'm drinking because I'm the one that made it. So it's super fun. I bring a little bit of extra for my coworkers who are now drinking kombucha with me, and it's a great probiotic positive drink. So it's going to be awesome for gut microbiome. So something that I've been like really making sure I have consistently throughout my week. So Dr. Bobbie, what's in your glass?
I just have water. Here at my clinic, I was running late this morning and I don't have like good water here at the clinic that I like feel comfortable drinking. So I have to have extra plastic bottles of water, which plastic bottles are not my favorite, but at least recycle them and water is better than some other options. So there's that 80-20.
Absolutely. Yep. You don't have to be perfect. That's not what it's about. Not at all. Yeah.
Far from that, actually.
Yeah. So what we want to talk about today is, we're entering into the season of it's getting warmer outside, especially down here in Florida. It is getting like full on hot and humid. And so I know up in Chicago, it's like now it's warm enough to go outside. So like my transition is actually getting a little bit harder than it was, whereas like Dr. Bobbie's transition is getting a little bit easier than it was. And so that's kind of this like back and forth that just happens with movement and year changes. So Dr. Bobbie, like what are you kind of really excited about now being able to do since it's not the frozen tundra up in Chicago?
So we are, we had some really nice weather, which is beautiful, like nice breeze. It's sunny, mostly clear skies. It's still raining a few days a week, which is nice because then it waters the plants. We do get these random. So for example, today it's going to be 89 out and it's very humid and muggy, which when you're coming off of 30, 40, 50 degrees, 89 is like, oh, can't breathe. So there is a little bit of a transition learning as we get those kind of significant weather changes. It also brings along today, we're supposed to have like tornadoes and hail and storm when there's those significant changes. But seeing the sun and like feeling the warmth is so nice and it just makes you want to be outside. And it's made, I hate the cold. So like when it's cold, I don't want to walk or run or do anything outside. But it's been nice. I like get to take my daughter on walks now and my dog and we get to go and it's like just so much easier to kind of get up and get your stuff and not have to put on 3 pounds of gear, 5 pounds of gear to like maybe stay a little warm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I totally get that. Like running in the cold is just like, I mean, I do it, but it is like so much harder to get outside and get started. And then this time of year for me, running
I've
like that hot sun, like that when that morning sun's coming in and it's already blazing hot, it's like you really do just need to get up and out before that sun is like really hitting you. So
Mhm.
it does kind of change that sleep schedule just a little bit on the weekend. Like can't like leave at 8 for the run, definitely need to leave a little bit earlier or change the route completely to a route that is like pretty much shaded all the time. So there's just like changes there that really make a difference.
Well, and I would think, at least I know for me here in the summer versus the winter, and I would think it's almost um, magnified for you down there, is you also have to think about like hydration.
Yeah.
And it's not good enough here, at least in the summer, it's not good enough to drink when you're thirsty. Like you need to stay on top of it and ahead of it. Otherwise, running into problems and things like that.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah.
I'm sure down there it's like even more as it gets hotter every day.
Yeah, I actually drink an electrolyte mix before I go out and run. I have an electrolyte mix on me while I run, and I have a mix that I drink afterwards. Because I will get a dehydration headache if I don't do it that way. Like it just is what it is. I sweat so much. It is so humid. And like that humidity is just not absorbing the sweat very well. So your cooling system doesn't work as well when it's humid. And so your body just keeps pumping out like all of that sweat, which has salts in it, which are the electrolytes, and you just get so depleted. So that's like number one for me, is like staying on top of the electrolytes, proactively and reactively after the run. And then also just making sure I worry about my body temperature big time. I worry about it in the winter, but like my winter runs aren't really that cold. In the summer is where you big time worry about body temperature. So like making sure you stay in shade if the sun's overhead, and then just ways to be able to cool yourself down. So that could be a cool rag around the neck, your big arteries right here in your neck. If you cool those down with like a cool rag or ice or something like that, that's a great way to cool your body temperature. Jumping in water is a great way to cool the body temperature. So sometimes we'll go out and do a run that's like super close to the beach. So we can like run, take off your shoes, just jump in the water, boom, you get your body temperature right back down again. Do the one-footed hop to get your sock and shoe back on, and as the waves coming back in, and hop, 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 and get your next shoe on, and then finish your run. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do that. Or like I'll have neighbors where I'll like text them and be like, hey, like their house is maybe like a half mile or so from my house. So I'll like say, hey, can I use your hose on the side of your house? And then I'll hose off the top of my head and my neck, just as like another option to make sure that I keep my body temperature down, because heat stroke and heat exhaustion are both very highly probable in the summer for anybody that's exercising out in the heat. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So as we're talking about, we know you love running, right? Like we know you love running, you run year round.
Yeah.
But as we're going into the summer, what are some activities that change, like that you now can do or can't do because of either weather or just things available? So like obviously we choose certain opportunities when they're only available for a short time, where the others will kind of let go because we can do them at another time.
So right now, my newest addition for movement in our week that I'm really excited about it, we just got our first adventure done. So I mean, in the past I've done this activity before, but then you enter kids into the situation and things, you enter different phases. So I've got a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old now who both swim weekly with an instructor, so they're solid in the water. And so we have started paddleboarding. And so that's been like, this is going to be like our thing in the summer that we can do together, because one, we can keep our body temperature down, because obviously like as a PT, like I'm always worried about that and anybody overheating, but especially little ones who might not be able to tell me, hey, I'm starting to get that dehydration headache, or I'm starting to not feel good. So I like to make sure that we have water around them so that we can always keep them safe in the heat. So it's like good for balance. So think about like on the paddleboard, like your ankle proprioceptors are like really having to fire, your hips are having to fire just to stabilize on that board. And then you add the cardiovascular component of like that constant paddle, with a little bit of strength as well, right? Because you're using your arms like repetitively. So it's like coordination, balance, proprioception, and cardio that you can do like with your family, like have like a little picnic lunch. I mean, then you're adding all that like social emotional connection. It's like just it's super fun. So like we're right at the age where it's like the first summer that like everybody's old enough to be able to do it. So that's like, I don't know, that's going to be our weekend thing. And we'll hit like different spots. And we're very lucky where we live that there's a lot of different water options that don't involve being out in like major surf or major currents. Like we can get off the beaten path a bit into like calm waters. And they wear life vests and things like that. But yeah, so that's like our like brand new to us adventure,
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So Dr. Bobbie, what are like some plans that you've got coming up for summer? Like what are things that are like, your phase of life is different, right? Like your daughter is younger than my sons. And so it just does change things a little bit, and then it'll change, and then mine will change. And that's just life.
So I'm really excited. American Pediatrics, they don't recommend biking with a little one until 12 months. So actually, when this episode comes out, she'll just be 12 months. So I'm really excited. I'm already looking for her little helmet and a little attachment for my bike so we could go biking. I'm excited for that. I was unable to bike last year because I was 3 months pregnant. And I mean, not 3 months pregnant, 9 months pregnant. And then having a brand new little one, it just didn't fit. So it's been, gosh, a year and a half almost, since I've been able to get on the bike. And I just love being on a bike and going. And, it's nice because you have some breeze when it's really hot. It's great activity and it's just fun. You can go lots of places, way further than you can walking. So I think just walking outside, playing outside, let me tell you, squatting with a little one while she's walking and like trying to, because she needs help walking right now still, and I have to squat and do the frog walk. And it's a big workout. Like I'm tired. Or like playing with her, like chasing the ball because she's like not at the age where she can chase the ball. So she throws the ball and you chase the ball. Like, so my activity is more around her and just making sure she gets playtime and
Yeah.
from there.
Yeah. No,
And there's a lot up, down, up, down, up, down. Like, you don't know how much exercise that is. Just racing or lifting, she always wants to be thrown in the air, lift up and down and spin in circles. Man, I realized the other day I was spinning her in circles and she's loving it. I was like, whoa, I need to work on my vestibular system because I'm about to throw up.
Right. Yeah. It's like, I mean, that's the whole part of like, you can still be active and have, little ones around you. And it's like you're keeping your health in check and keeping you strong. At the same time, you're modeling that behavior for them. And so you're showing them that this is our value. And our value is that we are active and that we do go outside and that we do things together so that you create those strong connections. I just feel really strongly that as much as possible, I want whatever the strong values are to be able to display that in lifestyle. And that's why I don't have a gym membership. I'm not opposed to people having gym memberships. Like that's fine if that works for you. But for me, like I really like working out in my backyard. Like I like doing my functional movement out there, like the stuff that you're talking about. So if I've got my TRX straps hooked up to like the playset, and if like my 3-year-old like wants to be tossed in the air, then I'll do squat squat to toss, do that in repetition. Like no one needs a medicine ball if you've got a 3-year-old. Like that is
right?
solid weight, or if like I'm doing my walking lunges and somebody needs a piggyback ride while I do it, like I don't need a weighted vest, like I've got a little one on my back. And again, it's like they're like seeing like this is what we do. Like they don't have to do a workout with me, but like they're running around being crazy and then coming back over and be like, oh hey, I need attention. It's like I can give you attention and we can get movement in. So for me it's like just the best way to like end my day is like with a workout like that. And is it super intense? Am I so focused with like music blaring in my ears? No. The intensity, I would say, of my workouts when I used to go to a gym and you're like focused and you're doing this is a lot different. And like I'm fine with the results. Like as long as I have that overall balanced lifestyle, then like that's really like what the research shows is like you want moderate intensity exercise with consistency, and that's where we're really going to see the overall major health benefits. And so you can kind of like as your life changes, it just kind of works with you, and as seasons change, like it just works with you instead of being so restrictive on like this time is when it starts. For me right now, gyms just don't work for my lifestyle, which is and for other people it does. In the past it did work for me.
Yeah.
So
No, I feel the same way. I'm about to cancel. I really enjoyed, there was a class where it was mommy and me, and like I got to bring her in a stroller, but the problem is it's weekdays during the morning, and with working, like I can't, I go maybe once a month and I'm paying all this money. So I'm actually going to cancel and kind of, now that it's nice out, switch to that.
right.
So yeah. But I think just playing outside is right now for me, that is what we do.
Exactly. And so it really doesn't, movement and exercise in our lives, it doesn't need to look a certain way, right? So the whole point is that what you're doing works for your day, it works for your
Mhm.
lifestyle, it works for your family, it works for your budget, all of that. That's all of what really matters. And it doesn't need to be more complicated than that. And
Yeah.
so like the whole point of this episode is just to say, hey, like I literally spend no money on my movement patterns other than like if I do drive to a different place for my runs. So there's gas associated with that. If I want to be on a full shaded route. Other than that, it's all either in my backyard working out, going on runs. Well, the paddle boards I bought them used on Marketplace. So it was not a major investment. I got two because we keep the kids with us on the boards. And so, so there's cost to that, but it's a one-time cost for a lot of activity that we don't have to pay money to then do. So for me, the ROI on that was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, whole point is just make it enjoyable. That's all. Just make it fun, make it an adventure, laugh. Heaven forbid we laugh.
The more you play, the more you'll stick with it.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, hopefully you found this quick little episode helpful, just to kind of, get you thinking like, how could I enjoy summer? It's hot and that could be great. Like maybe I find water, maybe I get on a bike if it's, not running isn't as fun. There's like tons of different options for how to stay moving even in the heat of the summer. Just remember, temperature regulation is huge. So water on the top of your head, water on your neck, drink electrolyte mix if that's safe for you. Confirm that with a physician, if there's any blood pressure or any other issues, it's not a one size fits all approach by any means. But make sure you're safe in the summer when you're including movement and laugh. Laugh is
Yes.
great. Tons of positive hormones are released when we laugh. It's great for our neurologic systems and endocrine system. So make sure to like and follow if you want the newest stuff that's coming out. We do episodes every single week. And check us out next week. We've got some new stuff coming up. I never really remember what it is, but it's always good. I love everybody to talk to. I learn every week. So hopefully you do too. All right. Bye.